Okay, so without any further ado, I'll just bring Jack Appleyard up, who can introduce the team Appleyard Mcadam Doodson race team.
Thank you very much and good evening. So without further ado, I'll introduce the team Appleyard Mcadam, supported by Doodson for a second year. Onto the stage we've got our two Supersport riders, Dean Brown and Bjorn Esmond, and Superstock 600 rider, Dan Kinlock. Now, as my dad said, we're out in Cartagena in Spain just under a week ago for testing, but first off we'll speak about last year, the progress that they made and the expectations for this year. So we'll start with you, Dean. 2012, it was your first year on the Supersport bike. You felt you made a lot of progress in the right direction?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always going to be hard going into such a big class as a Supersport, but I think that we started the year off very well and then had a couple of crashes which knocked confidence a bit, but towards the end of the year we started making some consistent finishes and we're moving in the right direction, putting us in good stead for this year, so hopefully this year will be better.
You feel you were able to adapt to the Supersport quite quickly?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's actually quite a big jump between Superstock and Supersport with power. I mean, it's closer to riding 1000cc, so that was quite different, but it was enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? Having that extra power there's, I mean, it's slightly better, so that was good. But it does bite a little bit, but do you know what I mean? You just got to tame it and go on it.
Because of the extra power, did you have to change your riding style in any way? So of course you progressed through the 125s where you've got to be really aggressive with the bike. With the Supersport, have you got to really treat it with a little bit more control?
Yeah, on the 125 you kind of try and carry lots of corner speed, where on Supersport you kind of try and carry a lot of entry speed, get the thing stood up and then crack it really early so you've got good exit speed. So you had to adapt, but do you know what I mean, like when you're right on the edge of the tyre it's quite hard to try and tell. It's easy enough to tell your hand to do it, but tell your heart and your brain's just going, no, oh. Do you know what I mean? But no, like the more laps you do, like I mean, the easier it becomes.
And then looking towards this season, of course, you're out in Spain. Did the test go well? Were you happy with what you were able to accomplish?
Yeah, we had a slight problem on day one, but managed to get that sorted, and we had a lot of laps on day 2 and 3, which was good. We were just trying lots of different settings, which last year we just aimed at getting laps because I wasn't used to Supersport, but this year we kind of used the test as an actual test instead of just going out there and trying to go fast. I mean, we were testing lots of different things, which was good. And then on the last day we made quite a lot of adjustments, and it seemed a lot better. So after Saturday I was slightly happy, but after Sunday I was really happy, even though the tyres were gone that I was on, but after Sunday I was really happy with how the bike was feeling.
And for those of you that watched the British Supersport Championship over the last 2 seasons, it has been without doubt the most close-fought championships, and this year is no different. There's a handful of riders that can not only win races but win the championship, so it's very competitive. So what are you hoping for out of 2013?
Hopefully, I mean, we'll be top 6, top 5 all year is my aim, with a good few podiums and then hopefully maybe even a race win. Do you know what I mean? I think that last year I finished 5th, that was my best result of the season. And after a full season Supersport, I mean, we're moving on. I feel in myself that I've learned a lot from last year. I'm riding better. I mean, the team's learning more, I'm learning more. So hopefully, if everything goes right next season, there's no reason why we can't be running right at the sharp end.
And Dean is, without doubt, the youngest rider in the British Supersport paddock. He is still only 19 years old, so there's definitely a lot of talent there and a lot to come from the future from you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the people I'm riding against, like Glenn Richards, they are mid-30s and stuff, so they've been there, done that, and are still doing it. So, I mean, if I'm running with these boys, I'm learning a lot, and I've still got a lot of years left in me. So no, it's. I mean, you don't really think about the whole age thing. Oh, he's been there, done that. You're just concentrating on what you can do and the best you can do it.
And on to you now, Bjorn. You've obviously come over from the South African Championships. It was your first full year in Britain last year on the Superstock 600. Were you pleased with how you went last year? I mean, you had to learn all the circuits from brand new. Was it difficult for you?
Last year was a bit tricky. It didn't go the way we expected it or wanted it to go. Pre-season testing it led us to believe it was going to be a lot more successful, but it was a learning curve and yeah, good times.
What sort of a difference is it in class compared to the South African Championships, which of course you've come through and done quite well in, to move into the Superstock 600 class? Was it a real eye-opener for you?
Yeah, I guess like in the UK, the depth of the field is so much more than back home. Maybe at home we got 5 or 6 guys that are fast, that are out there to win the race. Where in Stock 600, Stock 1000, Super Sport, you got probably 10 to 15 guys that are capable of winning a race, and the difference in time in qualifying and the race respectively is just a whole lot closer, and it's something you've got to get used to.
Now, this is your first year in your team, and the first real taste of the team was out in pre-season testing in Cartagena. Were you able to get along with the team straight away? Were you able to adapt to the new bike quite well?
Yeah, I felt instantly welcomed by the team in Spain and Cartagena, and I really did enjoy my time. Awesome to be on a super sport machine, which is something that I've always aimed for coming from home, and for us that's almost like a GP bike. So just it was really special, and yeah, the team was great, and the effort and just the whole family vibe is just a great thing to be a part of.
And the same with you as Dean, having progressed from the Stock 600, moving on to the Super Sport, as he said, with a lot more power. Did you feel you had to change your riding style at all and try adapt to it?
Yeah, the bikes are rockets. I mean, the first time I opened the throttle, I think I still got Will telling me to rev the bike to the end because I'm not using all the revs. But we'll get there, and yeah.
And then looking towards this season, what are you hoping to expect?
Well, first off, I'm going to enter into the Super Sport Cup as well, which is sort of the Rookies Championship within a championship. Hopefully we can have a go at that. That's realistic, I believe. And in terms of the main championship, well, I actually don't know. I mean, it'll be my debut at Brands in the Super Sport category, so I mean, I go out there to try and do my best and hopefully end up at the top of the list, but let's see what happens.
Now these are the team bikes to the right and left of me. This one on the right with the number 7 is actually Dean's Super Sport bike, and to the left is Matthew Paolo's Stock 600 bike, and Matt is the other Stock 600 driver who unfortunately can't be with us tonight. He's got some university exams on at the moment, so he's had to focus on them. But these bikes to the right and left of me are all prepared in-house here at Appleyard, so they really get the best deals, not only for yourself, because they're good enough to be at a top level at British Championship. And moving on to the Stock 600, we've got Dan Kinlock. Now Dan, you've told me not really to speak about last year because it didn't entirely go to plan for you, but just let them know how it went last year, because it was a big learning curve with you, even though the results didn't really come your way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, last year was a real struggle. I don't. I mean, probably the best result was, I think, a 9th, but the year before we were on the podium, so I was expecting maybe 2012 to progress even further and always beat the sharp end, but just loss of confidence and a number of other personal things that just didn't go well. But moving on to this year, being out to Spain, everything was perfect. Actually, I managed to get to Spain earlier before with just me and the bike and another mechanic in the end of January, which was really good, really positive. And then to get to Spain again last weekend was awesome. So just really looking forward to this year, and knowing that I've just got a good feeling, don't want to touch wood.
Now unfortunately you did only get 2 days of testing out there, Dan, didn't you? Just explain what happened. Now the 2 days that you did have were fantastic, and you went a lot faster than what you did the year before, and it proved that there's going to be a lot of positive signals moving forward into this year. But unfortunately you did have a little bit of an off and a slight injury.
Well, a bit of an off-track excursion, I like to say. But yeah, for the first day and a bit half, we were definitely setting the pace without the other Stock 600 riders, without trying to took one horn, but feeling well, felt good. Basically, we're running the new Pirellis instead of the Metzlers from last year. And at the end of the first day, knowing I wanted to go into Saturday or Friday morning it was, get back into the groove and then put a new set of tyres on. So I went out, reminding myself halfway around the track, right, these are old tyres, take it easy. And next thing you know, over the top, goodbye. And I'm okay though. The shoulders are a bit sore, but we'll be fine.
So you'll be fine for the BSB tests, where there's the official BSB tests at Fruxton and then at Brands Hatch in I think it's about a week's time.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the tests on Tuesday. So I've still been doing training, the cross training and swimming and going to the physio. So obviously all the physios advised to take it easy, but you just kind of, yeah, okay, cool, and then just crack on.
And for the three of you, you're all running a Yamaha R6, and all three of you been running the Yamaha R6 for a long time. How is the Yamaha as a motorbike? Is it one of the best out there? Is it, because obviously it gets a lot of results. Jack Kennedy was second on it last year. Sam Lowes has been at the front end in World Supersport on it this year. Just explain what the bike is like.
Yeah, well, for me, I think it's almost like a kind of already built race bike as soon as it comes out, even in the showroom. I know, and it feels to me a lot smaller bike. I know I raced a 600 Kawasaki in 2011, and I felt more of kind of sitting in the bike, with the Yamaha you're like more on top of it. So I prefer it. It seems to handle good and stuff like that.
In my opinion, I suppose the Yamaha, if you just look at it as a motorbike, it was launched in 2007 or 2006 with a couple of upgrades in 2008. Apart from then, I don't think it's changed much in 5 years, and it's still capable of winning. Well, it won a World Supersport Championship with Chaz, and then obviously Sam is right on the pace, right on the money again. So that just speaks volumes for what the bike is, being so old and competing against bikes that are a lot newer and probably more high spec.
I think that the Yamaha's probably the best of everything, do you know what I mean? Like, say maybe the Triumph's got a little bit more punch, but the Yamaha's not far behind, like, do you know what I mean? Where maybe the Suzuki lacks the punch, but it's got the chassis, where the Yamaha's got the good chassis as well, and the Triumph lacks that. So I think like the Yamaha's kind of like the best of everything, obviously, with little bits and bobs, do you know what I mean? Plus you've got to ride it still, do you know what I mean? But no, I think it's definitely one of the best packages to put on.
If Doodson are putting £1 million into motorsport, clearly I didn't negotiate hard enough when I was in my package. So we'll think about that next year, Sam.